Hello guys, good morning, good afternoon, or whatever the time of the day may be. And today I have the pleasure to welcome you to another round of the MRV Motorsport F1 League. Anyways, today we are going to race on the Hockenheimring GP, um, very high speed track. You have a lot of straights, or it's not a straight, but you have lots of straights. Yeah, there are not so much turns, but before the finish line, there is one hairpin, and the map, just the layout of the map, looks like a shoe. So yeah, it will be interesting. This race will be interesting. And we have the sound, we have the positivity. Let's take a look at Antoni, because Antoni took the lead out of the pits, and he's going for this lap. Let's take a look at Antoni for his out lap, and I'm sure that he will be going on to his flying lap, hot lap, or just lap of time anytime soon. Anyways, he is closing down to the Mercedes corner, and he is only a few turns before he can start his qualifying time, or his attempt to set some qualifying time. I'm not really sure with the times. I did not look at the times, so let me look now. So Malone had the best time, but Vantoni was right behind him, and Vantoni is on his out lap, and he is going, he's braking for the Parabolica corner. He's going through it like a champ. He's now currently going through Parabolica. Interesting corner. Well, like it's more of a straight. Anyways, he's going into the hairpin, and he's going to the hairpin, and I forgot to switch the cams. I forgot. So yeah, go guys. Anyways, he's going for the time, and let's see what time, or what his time will be. He is in the Sasa curve, and he is going into the last turn before the finish line into the Sud curve. He's gone out of the Sud curve, and he sets 1:15 a lap. Not bad Vantoni, but he can still set a better time, or maybe not, because to be honest, the tire change. Let's take a look at, I think, Bondardi. Bondardi. Let's take a look at someone. Sandal. Yeah, Sandal. My favorite. Okay, he is just standing there menacingly on the track. Okay, let's look at Antic, and he is now currently on his flying lap. He is going through the first turn into the grass, and I think he messed up, and he is backing back to the pits. So let's take a look at Trkovic, teammate of Fasic. By the way, guys, we had a little voting which liver do you like the most, and from our drivers, pilots, and people, the the livery who is the livery that is most liked by these people or people who voted is this exactly, aka HP Hell livery, inspired Phasage team, and another livery is a Parallax. It was a draw. Let me, I think Godfrey, okay, Antage has the, or Mech, where is Mech real? Okay, this is the livery. I don't know, what is this? What the hell is going with the sound? Let me show you the beautiful livery. Finally, I finally it's fixed. The helmet works. It turns out it was a bad version of custom shader patch on Assetto Corsa. I had like 226, but I downgraded because of the issues with the nose on the L1 cars to the 24, and it works. Anyways, let's take a look at Gionardes. He's on his outlap. He did not set yet his qualifying time, and my man, this track has some fuck sound. Like, this track, what the hell is happening on the sound? Like, the sound, like, I don't hear the cars, and it feels weird. I wanted to hear the cars. I don't know, my guess it has to do something with the downgrade of the CPS, but anyways, I hope this race will be lit. Gionares is set a time, decent time. Let's take a look at Diaz, because Diaz did not set the time, and I think Diaz is on his flying lap. Bentoni set a pretty decent lap. It's almost to his personal best. It's only 0.2 of hundredths to his personal best when in the free practice. That is great. But anyways, I'm sorry if I feel if my voice is like shouted or like fading away. I had an interesting night, to say at least. If the race will be lit, the race will be good or same as the last night, it will be good or terrible. I don't know. Depends how you will look at it. It will be kind of funny, and yeah. Anyways, Diaz is almost at end of this lap. He's currently in Sasa Curva, and he's going into the Suda Curva, into the last turn, into the last area. Oh, he gone off the track, and I think that's that he is not having the time. Yeah, the time he got deleted. Yeah, happens. Happens, and we are going to switch to another rival. And I like my man. He is currently on his outlap. He's currently warming up his tires, and he's preparing for the flying lap. Let's see if he will improve on his lap time. Anyways, let's see if he will improve on his lap time, because logically I want to hear that, see that. Like, to be honest, guys, what the hell is what the hell is happening with if the what is happening with What is happening with the like what is happening? Yeah, let's have the tires. I just change a small config and let's see the tire compound. Unfortunately, it's like C5. We have the 5 tires, ultra soft, mediums, hard, and wets, of course. If we could do like racing in the rain, it would be cool. Like, I would like to see this. And we are on Ma flying lap, if I'm not mistaken. I know I was long on him because I wanted to see that lap, and I think he got struck somewhere because I don't see the time delta of Ma. So I guess we are switching from another driver. Let's switch to Carlo. And why I cannot click on Carlo? Eh? Okay, I think I did something wrong because I cannot absolutely switch. Now between the drivers, or I can, but it will be messy with the wave. So I guess this has to. Why I cannot switch drivers? What is happening? What is it? Okay, now guys, what is happening? I don't know what is happening, and I'm kinda confused as hell because I want to switch the drivers and I cannot. I guess I cannot switch the drivers. Why can't switch the drivers? Why I cannot switch the drivers? That is my real question. So I'm trying to go to pets and let's see. Some technical shit. Okay, people must switch the drivers the interesting way. So yeah, it will be interesting to say at least because I will switch drivers. Oh, like I want to switch the decent. Like I want to click. Okay, something messed up. It worked beautifully. Okay, guys, let me. We will need to reconnect. I'm sorry, guys. We are getting away from the action. Something happened. I don't know why it happened. Let me restart the game. It will be in the second because the audio was fucked. So I think something is wrong, and I don't like it. So let's restart. Let's restart this. Let's go to the beach. Yeah. Okay. It should be hopefully good soon, and hopefully working. And yes, it is working. We fixed the problems. We fixed the problems. We are back. I don't know why. I don't. So yeah. But the times from the qualifying is wrong. I will read it to you out loud. Currently, Penalty is leading with his 1:14, and nobody was able to get a better time. So he is currently in his pole provisional in provisional pole. Then we have Leonardes in 1:15, and then we have a Malone. This will be interesting race if Malone, if Vanellope and Leonardes will not make any mistakes. I think Vanellope has a decent chance to win as Leonardes, and Malone of course has decent chance too, but I don't think he will have that easy time on the track as he had the last two races. To be honest, he will need to fight for his positions and his not alive. When not is outdoing himself, and he set almost personal best on. He almost set a PB, at least I think, because on the free practice he almost he had 1:14, 1500s. I don't 500 hundreds. So yeah, very interesting. He is going for it. A gold frame currently is on his lap. Let's see, will he get a better time? I don't know. I need to look because all the time were deleted because of my little incident. Missile gold frame. Billy. Oh, good frame. Yes, now in overtime. Qualifying is over. We are just waiting for Franklin and Ma to finish the qualifying, and apparently we will not let them finish. The overtime has ended, and the grid is as following: Venote in pole position, Leonardes in second, Malone third, Franklin in fourth, McGill fifth, Antic sixth, Jimenez 7, Fesic 8, Ma 9, Sandel 10th, Tarkovic 11th, Carlo 12th, Bornandi 13, Gostray 14, Godfrey 15, and DS in the 16. And that is our driver. That is our driver. That is our grid. You can be. Oh, that's kind of beautiful shot. Not going to lie. The the okay, this is cool. And I just yeah, race control. Can I tour the car? You cannot hear it. I tour the car. I mean, maybe if I do like this, let's do the safety car. But I will need car. Yes. Okay, I guess safety car is hybrid or something. Anyways, we are not here for the safety car. And what just happened? Today is very interesting. And I don't know why this is happening. Okay. Today is kind of weird, guys. Don't know why. Anyways, let me fiddle with this. Benote, as you can see, is in the provisional pole. He's in pole. We have the lights. Lights are lighting, and we are going to be away soon. Let me start from Malone, and lights are out, and away we go. Malone is trying to, he had a good strike, he's pulling up to Leonidas into the Nurra curve, and Nurra curve is a really tight turn. We have so many overtakes. Melon is now pulling up to the Leonidas, he's dive-bombing the corner, he's taking the lead in the corner, and he had the apex perfectly. He is now currently chasing Venote. Venote is pulling away quickly, there is already 1 second gap, but I don't think Melon will let him that easily, and he will try to go from him. He just gained a few seconds. I think he used up his DRS, but Frankland is creeping up behind him slowly but surely. Melon is trying to catch up to Venote. He is closing down the gap little by little, but no, that's a thing, and I think this fight will continue, or maybe not. This fight will be getting bumper to bumper anytime soon, because Melon is closing down the gap. Okay, maybe not. It's weird. I think Venote has a much more downforce focus setup than Melon, and Melon has a more steery setup, if I say myself so. By the way, guys, I think today will be very interesting, because the tire wear is certainly most much worse. The tire wear is really bad, or bad. It's interesting. Today will be interesting strategy, because the tire wear is 115 times. So yeah, 1.5 times higher than normal in a stock or base game. Anyways, Melon is closing down the gap on Venote. And as I said, I think Venote has much more better downforce car, because he is pulling on the straights, but soon we will have the DRS allowed. Anytime soon the DRS will be allowed, and Tarkovic has 3 seconds for DRS. To be honest, it's kinda cool to see all of the cars are holding up, but Melon is closing down the gap for Venote, but I think Melon is really excited for this lap, because he will have the DRS, because DRS will be opening anytime soon, and he can open it up as soon as he finishes the this lap, and I think, yeah, DRS is enabled, and then Franklin said the fastest lap. But Melon is taking over Venote. He is taking lead in the corner and pulling away from Venote. He was waiting for the DRS, but I think we are not in the end of the fight. Melon and Venote are still fighting for the lead. And as I said in the qualifying, Melon is going to have to fight for the first position today, and Venote as Tarkovic another 3-second penalty, but Melon will have to fight, and he cannot pull technically. He will not pull Max Verstappen, or maybe he will pull, who knows. But anyways, Venote is trying to close down the gap. He is waiting for some DRS zone. DRS zone is going to be up ahead, I think, anytime soon. Venote will try to make the move on Melon in a Norda curve after the first turn. He'll try to make the move on Melon, but he needs to stay close enough to use the DRS. If Melon pulls away and Venote will not be in the DRS zone, Venote is completely fucked. Melon set the fastest lap, and Venote is not in the DRS zone, and I think Melon is going to pulling away. But Melon is going to pull away from Venote. He's barreling. Okay, maybe he has the DRS. Let's see. Has Venote will be going to having the DRS, because they are now driving through the hairpin. But as I said, okay, Melon is pulling away, and Venote is not able to hold the gap steadily in the DRS zone. So that is kinda sad. Let's take a look at Tarkovic, because Tarkovic got 2 penalties for the DRS. I think he likes the DRS button. He just now overtook Carlo. And Antic is in the pits, and Diaz has another 3-second penalty for DRS. What is happening with the DRS? I thought today is going to be a cutting track day, but apparently not. The DRS button is some kinda new button that all drivers like to push, because yes, DRS, we like DRS button very much. Anyways, Turkovic is trying to push and close down the gap on Godfrey. He's closing down the gap quite significantly and quite fast, and it's headed for our early pit. I think he was on some ultra soft tires, he burned through the tire. But anyways, Turkovic is closing down the gap to Godfrey very fast, even though he is a new face on in the MRV league. He is learning fast, but it's kind of crazy to see the progress. But anyways, Turkovic is almost in the DRS gap, in the DRS zone. He just need to close down the gap between him and Godfrey, and he will be able to use the DRS, and that will be making his life so much easier. And let's take a look at McGrill, because McGrill is closing down the gap to Franklin. McGrill he is going to have the DRS advantage, and I think he will try to use the DRS advantage soon as he can. He's pulling to Franklin. He's overtaking. He's bombing to the inside, through out of the corner. He's holding the inside line. He's defending, and he's sailing the deal. Another 2 penalties. The penalties, guys. The penalties are kind of crazy, but Franklin is not giving it up that easily, and he's following. He's trying to dive bomb. He was trying. Ooh, there was a little contact in the hairpin. He was trying to make some move. He was hoping that McGriddle will be drifting from the corner, and he was trying to take the inside, but did not work out, and he was pushed out on the outside. It is certainly most interesting. Anyways, Franklin is trying to close out the gap, but it's not working. It's not working, and let's take a look at Ma, because Ma is also closing down the gap, and I think Franklin and McGriddle they are not going to fight anytime soon again. But Ma is fighting, and he is holding the corner like a champ. He's going through another corner. Ooh, and there was a little contact with Jamas. Jamas got a nasty back shot from Ma, and when I'm saying that out loud, it sounds very weird. But yeah, I never thought I will be saying that Jamas got back shot from Ma. Don't know why. It doesn't even matter how, but yeah. Anyways, Ma is closing down the gap. He's in the DRS zone. He can use the DRS, and he will use it to take down the gap. They are not going to play in any DRS zone. But next lap Ma will be in the striking distance. For Jamas, maybe 2 liter, right? Ma is only 0.2. He is gluing to the bumper of Jamas, and he is trying to close down the gap as hard as he can. He wants to use the DRS to overtake him. So let's hope he will. Ooh, he kinda looked up his brakes, his tires, and I think they are balding, or they are kinda bald. So yeah, that cost Ma precious time to Jamas, and to be honest, Jamas is too focused on defending because his opponents are pulling away. I get it, he's trying to play it safe, and he's just trying to defend his position. Eventually positions will come, because we are only humans after all, and we made mistakes. Ma, he couldn't recover. from that not goal, from that unfortunate lockup of his tires and brakes, and that is sad. Or maybe he's recovering, but he is not gaining that much. Or maybe I spoke too soon, because apparently Sector 3 is a strong Ma thing. So yeah, he's closing down the gap quite good. Let's not lock up the brakes. Let's not look up the brakes, and let's see. Ma is in the starting distance to Jimenez. He's going to trying to overtake Jimenez anytime soon. They are going to be reaching DRS zone soon, and I think Ma will be using the DRS advantage to overtake him cleanly on the straight, because on the straight he cannot defend, and it's the easiest type of the overtake you can. But but he's still trying to close down the distance as much as he can. Nice. I think Ma is not matching the pace of Jimenez, because he is not actually closing down the gap between him and Jimenez, and he's not. Or maybe I spoke too soon. It's weird. It's weird. The last sector. It's really weird. But anyways, let's take a look at Sandal, because we like Sandal, and Sandal. He's going frequently into the session cover, and he's trying to close down the gap on Phasage. Phasage is trying to close down the gap on Gio Magnades, or maybe not. I don't know if he'll be defending. Let's take a look at his standing. Again, let's go to the mile situation. There is some wheel-to-wheel fight as I don't know which fight to watch, and let's take a look at the map, because we got the map, and I did not expect that to catch up that fast. He recovered quite good, or she, I don't know, I forgot. I think there is a woman in this league and I forgot the name, so I'm sorry if you are watching this from the replay. No, I hope you did not take any offense, and let's get straight back to the action, because Mark nicely overtook Frank Jimenez, but Jimenez is not liking that, and he's trying to take the position anytime soon. He is closing down the gap. He's getting dangerously close to Mom. There was a little smoke of the tires there in Südkurve, and on the final stretch, Mao needs to pull away from Jimenez, or he will do the same to him or her. And yeah, I think Jimenez has the DRS advantage. He's much faster. He's overtaking on the outside. He's breaking into the corner quite late, but there was a little contact wheel to wheel, and Ma is again back down to original position. It is certainly most interesting. I'm currently back in the Mercedes corner or something like that. No, but I think they are going to change the position so much. They are going to change the positions. And another 5-second penalty for cutting happens. But anyways, Ma is closing down the gap again, and I think Ma will be trying something on the straight between Einstein Parabolica and slips here on the Parabolka straight. Ma is going into the pits, and he or she is going to change it area, so apparently the fight ends for now. Let's take a look at Sandal, Mr. Sandal, because Sandal is currently in the striking distance of Phasage. He closed down the gap close enough. Another 5-second penalty for cutting. Anyways, he is close enough to activate the DRS in the DRS zone, and he will be able to overtake Phasage. But maybe the smart move will be maybe the smart move will be that he will be saving the ERS zone or ERS battery, the battery on, but he's trying to attack. I think Sandler has the potential to do it. Meg Gravel is also pitting, and Tankovic is also pitting. And let's watch this. Mr. Sandler, are you going to overtake Phasage or not? We will see. Sandler is also pitting. He is also in the pit lines. You can see the effect of the higher tire wear. Certainly, is the utmost add more realism to the league. But hey, anyways, let's take a look at someone else, because Sandler pitted and he's away from the grid. But there is a kinda terrain in the back. There is a kind of three-man train between Cairo, Kostray, and Tig. There is a three-way battle. Let's watch that three-way battle, because Kostray is closing down the gap to Antic, or at least trying, because he needs to close down the gap first, so he can have the sweet DRS that we love and worship. So yeah, I think he's not in the striking distance. They are currently going into mobile weather. And I'm kinda tired, guys. Ooh. But no, the gap is increasing between them. Another driver pitting. Godfrey is pitting. So yeah, Godfrey is pitting. So the Argentine is gaining position. How about DS? DS got a lot of penalties for the DRS today, so I hope it will not affect his motivation and his morale, because I imagine he is kind of frustrated for the time penalties. But anyways, Gionagdes is also pitting, and McGrivel is closing down the gap to Jimenez, and yeah, he's closing down the gap to Jimenez. Sorry guys, I cannot hold eye open. I just almost fell asleep. Even though I have a screaming V6 plus in my ears, so yeah. Well, anyways, McGribbon is closing down the gap on to Jimenez. He's currently in the striking distance. Franklin is also pitting, and I think that's almost all of the drivers are pitting early, very early. I think Antich pitted the areas. But anyways, McGravel is going on the move on the straight. He did not have the speed and the time to follow with his move, so he ducked again behind James. Now he's diving James into this turn. He's taking the turn. He has the tighter line, but the James is trying to find the gap. And James will be trying to do the good old switcheroo, and he did the good old switcheroo. James again in his third position, and McGravel is taking the inside line, but but James has a better corner exit, so he wins. Ooh, there was almost a contact. McGravel almost spun out, but don't you worry. He saved that. It was almost. But anyways, Malone is pitting, and that makes Malone the leader for the time. So yeah. Anyways, McGravel is still trying to close down the gap, and what happened to James? We need to see that in the replay, and I cannot activate the replay. So we will not say that in the replay, but I would like to see that in the replay. He went off the track. So yeah, but anyways, Franklin is closing out the gap on the McGravel. He's on fresher tires because he was spitting later than McGravel. So he has the advantage of the tires. He's trying to go from the outside to the inside. He's holding the inside line. There's a little bit of a lockup on the tires from McGravel. He's holding the line, and he followed with his move, and he made that position. He took that position. Velote is spitting, and that makes Malone again the leader. It's only a question of when he is going to switch to the first position in the leaderboard, and it will be anytime soon because the pitting process is kinda same for everyone with the time. So yeah. But anyways, McGravel, he is holding good. He is holding good because Frank Land has better tires, but fresh tires, but McGravel, even on the old tires, he's holding quite good onto him. James is pitting, and yeah, he's trying to make some move. He's trying to go from the outside to the inside. That doesn't work. He's sticking with the move to the outside. He has a better exit, and he's taking the position, but Franklin is right behind him. He's trying to make something from the outside. He was trying to make McGravel overshoot the turn so he can take him, but Franklin, my dear Frank, he is not in the striking distance of the DRS, and that is certainly most unfortunate because it will cause it goes in the position. He was just simply faster, and or maybe not. Franklin catch up in the last sector, so they are still in the reaching distance of the DRS or starting distance of the DRS, or maybe not. It's chasing second by second, and I think they are not going to be close enough in the DRS zone if McGravel will not make a mistake with his driving and he will be able to pull away quietly. Yeah, Franklin is not in the DRS zone, but he closed on the gap on the straight. It's quite interesting. I guess more downforce focus setup than McGravel, and McGravel is more for the steering. But anyway, what a race so far. It is interesting, certainly. certainly I must to say myself. So let's take a look at the Cosray. Cosray is currently trying to overtake Bornandini and is working. Darkovic got a 3-second penalty. Bornandini, but Bornandini is still holding behind him. Cosray is going from the inside to from the outside to the outside, and Melon just got a 5-second cutting, 5 seconds for cutting the corners, and that means if Venote and Ma got just the penalties are just flying. That means if penalty will not have any penalty and less than a 5-second gap, he will be able to win this race. Anyways, let's take a look again at Cosray. Is trying to make some move on the straight. So let's take a look at it again. He is trying to take the inside into the corner. That did not work out. Turkovic again with the DRS. Fazic is right behind Cosray, and he But Fazic is fighting back for his position now side by side. They are going to into the split hand. Fazic is breaking kinda late, but close enough. And yeah, he is trying to pull away from what's right. Anyways, I'm sorry. I think I will fall asleep the minute I will be in the bed because I just lost my train of thought. Let's take a look at someone else. That's what the one is fighting. So yeah, I'll stay with Cosray because Cosray is still catching up to Fazic. So yeah. As I said, I'm sorry. I just I'm sleepy kinda. But anyways, Antic is going for Carlo. He's closing down the gap. They are going side by side. He doubles a clean overtake on the straight. Gravel has 5 seconds for cutting. That is interesting. But anyway, nicely done overtake. Cosray is closing down the gap again. On Fazic are constantly fighting, and it's turning out to be quite interesting fight. Another 5 seconds. Oh man, these penalties, and I'm not sure who, I'm not sure how the position and everything will be done mixed up, because I think everyone at least will have some penalty, and it will be interesting. It will be interesting to see. But anyways, Antic is closing down the gap on Bordandini, and let's see. Okay, Antic, nice little overtake, cleanly. I mean, well, overtake, my bad. Ooh, wow, we are catching quite fast to the coast train. So, yeah, Ghost Ray. Let's take a look. No, this is Diaz and Carlo are fighting for the 12th and 13th position. Diaz is closing out the gap on Ghost Ray, and he's taking the 12th position. And Ghost Ray is on the. Ooh, and Sandal just lost a connection. that is certainly most unfortunate. So yeah. Because I'm kind of sorry, the winning isn't that action packed as I would wish to make it the most interesting for you guys, but I just doze off and I think I'm ready for bed. I will just brush my teeth and I will go to bed. Anyways, Ghost Ray is going wheel to wheel with Phasage, and let's see if Ghost Ray make the move. Anyways, Phasage is pulling down on his galloping the gap between Phasage and ooh, whoa, why is the gap interesting? Anyways, we are more than halfway done with the race, and there are only remaining few now only remaining 10 laps before the end of the race. So yeah, Ghost Ray is closing down the gap again on Phasage. He's braking kinda late, and ooh, there is a 3-man with Hugh like this. Another 5-second penalty for the ass for cutting, but yeah, it is interesting. Ghost Ray is still trying to overtake Phasage. He's not giving up on his dream to overtake him. Their coach, another 5-second penalty for cutting. Ooh, my man. So yeah, anyways, yeah. Anyways, Bernini has a 3-second penalty for cutting, and I just completely doze off. I'm sorry again. Anyways, Godfrey is going down to the mobile one curve. So yeah, he's trying to close down the gap between him and Carlon. So it's interesting to say the least. So yeah, Phasage is closing on the gap on Ghost Ray. They overtook, and I did not saw that for some reason, and I'm really sorry that I'm not in a more hyped up state. I don't have the energy for this. I don't have the energy for the action pack commentating. I'm sorry. So far, only Sandal DNF, but they are constantly fighting. Ghost Ray is constantly fighting with Phasage. Only 8 laps to go between the end of the race, and damn, it's interesting. Anyways, Phasage is closing down the gap to Antic. Franklin and McGriddle are betting in the same time. Antic has a 5-second penalty, and I think Vantoni is one of the chosen. Oh, they are going side by side. He's going to try from the outside. Did not work out. I think Vantoni is the only driver that isn't in custody. Another 5-second penalty, down with the penalties. The penalties are everything. I mean, there is so much penalties. But yeah, anyways, FaZe is still trying to overtake Ghost but it isn't burning. But Jim has like, no, another 5-second penalty. Wow. It is interesting to see the drivers pitting more than once. They're now actually pitting twice, or maybe 3 times. Depends if they are broke their filming or something like that. But anyways, they are almost in the Parabolica, and where is it? Basic is still closing out the gap, but Antic has oh my man, I did not saw the 9. But anyways, Basic has the most interesting race of them all right now. Because Gostra is trying to make it work, Basic is going off the tracks, and what? Damn, he lost at least one position. Yeah, he lost one position. But damn, he went off the track as king. Anyways, Godfrey. What is happening with Godfrey? Godfrey is closing down the gap on Bernardini. He's overtaking me on the straight that I don't think is the best move. I would personally wait for the DRI zone, so I have more regular. Maybe it is because he is pulling down. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, and that's almost. Oh, we are almost at the end of the race. It's only 6 laps. Kaggle is closing down the gap on the Ghost frame, and it is certainly most interesting. He's trying to close down the gap, and I think it's working. He's going to have the DRS advantage, and he will go from the inside, but the inside line isn't optimal. On this particular corner, on this hairpin, or maybe he will play it out nicely. Don't overshoot on this, and yeah, nicely done overtake. But Godfrey will be trying to take his position back anytime soon. Like I mean, it will be soon. Yeah. It's interesting. Only fight happening is currently between Taiwan and Godfrey. So yeah, Durkovic has a 5-second penalty for cutting. The gaps are too big, to be honest. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm sleeping on the commentating. I'm sorry. Godfrey is closing down the gap on Caro, and I'm really sorry. I don't know. For some reason, Durkovic is lap down. What happened to Durkovic? Yeah, he's at least a lap down, or I don't know what happened. Interesting. But the gap is really interesting. Franklin just set a fastest lap. Maybe he will able to catch the Malone and defeat his win streak record. Who knows? Who knows? Anyways, there are only 3 laps before end of the race. Only 3 laps, and the action is normal. Yeah, the action is normal. They are not making any crazy moves, so yeah. Yeah, so it is interesting. DX has another 5-second penalty for cutting, and I'm not sure who is in the top 3 for this. So yeah, only 2 laps, and Melon looks like he will not be first because of the penalty for the 5 seconds. Because penalty, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't got a single penalty. Let me check with our. Let me check it. Let me check. And yes, as I thought, penalty indeed hasn't received any penalty, and I think that means if penalty is going to hold on these 2 last laps, he'll able to secure his first win of this season, and that is something the most interesting, because I think he be able to. He just needs to hold the pace and doesn't let the delta drop down below to the 5 seconds or more. So I think he is able to pull it. He actually can manage to close down the delta down, and let's hear down on almost a last lap. Next lap is going to be the last, and he is actually closing down the gap. As I said, Benotti has had a solid chance on the win, and he is actually going to secure it. He just needs to drive his monopoles to across the finish line, and he is not going. He's in no need to be risky or anything, because practically he has the win in the back, and he is going to break the Malone win streak. So yeah, we need to see that. It's going to be a last lap very soon, and I think Malone is catching up some traffic. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, Malone is catching up Bernardini. Crocodile. Yeah, he's catching up the traffic, but Benotti is holding on to it, and he's actually closing down the gap. It would be epic if he be able to. I think Malone is feeling the pressure of the old tires, but Benotti is still holding on to the. He just needs to not risk. Is the last lap. It's going to be the last lap, and Benotti is going to be the winner because of the penalty. Benotti, that is not, he didn't receive a single penalty. Another 5-second penalty. The penalties are, to be honest, crazy, and yeah, it is certainly the most interesting. But Malone is going. If there are no penalties, Malone would win. But no, it looks like Vantoni is going to win this race. He doesn't need to push. He's almost in the end. There are a few corners before the end of the race. He's in the mobile curve. It's fast curve, and Malone is only a second away from Benotti. Maybe Benotti will that. He is close. Benotti just close down and fuel up the gap. It is impressive how he closed down the gap. And yeah, 5-second penalty to the final time. GG's Malone to Malone and Benotti. Franklin is going to be there right behind them. I'm not sure if he is going to be, but he's finishing third. McGrail is going to finish fourth. Jimenez is going to finish fifth. anytime soon. And yeah, it is interesting. We are seeing a lot of penalties, but yeah, the track limits on this track are pretty strict. Let me. I want to see the final picture. So yeah, they are going to be lining up soon. The drivers are ending their GMS is 5th, Ma is going to be 6th, Gilmag the 7th, Kostre 8th, Antic 9th, Vasic 10th, Carlo 11th, Godfrey 12th, DS 13, Bonardini 14, Tarkovic 15, and sadly DNF. And that's all for this race. We are going to have the interview, so if you want to stick around that for that, I recommend you do. Let's take a look at the finish. Let me prepare it. And the penalties are crazy today, guys. For the DRS and for the track supplements, it was crazy. To be honest, my bet was on the cutting track penalty. That is going to be first, but I didn't expect the DRS penalty first. So yeah, they are going to line up. Let me prepare with my cam. I want to see that. And we have the winners here. And I did not bust in the time, but yeah. And what a race. What a race. Good drive. And let's go to the interview. Let's go to the interview for this. Let me join the room.
Well, it's right.
Yeah. I actually got I got free cut warnings on the first 3 laps.
Oh man,
Whew.
it's tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
Damn, I had a spin right when I was gonna catch third. I was catching third, I mean. I hadn't caught them. But I was right out of the DRS range and I had a little spin. Lost 4 seconds.
What a race.
I'm really confused.
The penalties were crazy, to be honest.
Oof.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
mad.
but that's not what I was confused.
All right.
It was something else. Yeah.
Where is Amar Fazic actually? Nobody knows. Okay. Well, we're gonna start the interview room. Please have some patience. We invite you soon enough. Thank you.
Okay.
So
I was. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was using the tire app that Malone.
Yeah.
Hey, Jan.
Ooh.
How you doing, man?
It was interesting, guys. I think you Ventoni just broke your win streak.
What did he do?
He just broke your win streak. Your win streak. Your win in a row.
Yeah, did he have? Yeah, I didn't know. I wanted to go to second place on the straight actually, but I think he didn't realize that I have a 5-second penalty.
And the penalties were crazy, to be honest. Someone accumulated 26 seconds of penalties.
Yeah.
Actually 42 seconds. My bad.
Yeah, that's insane. Hey, how about Fanotti himself? Did he have a penalty then?
No, Venotti erased him
No?
and did not have any
Okay.
penalty.
All right, then the win is for him. Then he should have gone to the first position on the straight. But yeah, I cannot change that anymore. All right, we're gonna drag him in and let's interview him first.
Yeah, we're missing.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, he didn't talk to me at all. So I'm doing it this time.
Okay. I will try to help, and let's get straight into this.
Yes, I'm gonna. Why is this not working? There we go. Luca Vanotti, welcome to the interview room. Congratulations with your win, actually.
What? Did I win?
Yes,
you actually won.
definitely.
What? The win?
Malone got a 5-second penalty for cutting. So yeah, that was actually also the reason that he was. He wanted to go to second position on the straight, but you didn't take the lead. So I think you didn't know that you were.
I didn't know. I thought you had like damage or something like that, but yeah. Now I'm happy actually.
Yeah, congratulations, well done. Talk
Thank
us
you.
through your race, because yeah, it was really interesting.
Like the start was actually bad. I think it was bad. I had very little pace because I noticed I was using less battery than I wanted. So on the second stint, I pushed much more. In fact, I was matching race pace with you, but I had so much unluck with back markers. It was insane. I even touched one of them, and it was insane. I was super nervous because every time I had a back marker, Malone got the DRS and I didn't. He was super angry about that.
Well, I can tell you, I didn't have DRS all the time, and I had also some troubles. But I
I
remember
saw
this
it.
Yeah, I remember this moment because I knew I had the 5-second penalty. So I knew, and that's why I was pushing and pushing. But that even cost me more penalties. But I had to keep it below the 10-second penalty because I knew maybe you have a penalty, So, but then that moment happened between you and the back markers. To talk more about you. Sorry. And but then the gap was 4.7 or something, and then I thought, oh, now I
I,
can go for it.
I
But
like went straight on the penultimate corner. Like I went a little bit straight. I did the only mistake I did actually was quite a good race by my side.
yeah, definitely, man. You didn't even have a track limit. I
Thank-
thought in the after the first corner, I thought you went off throttle to avoid the penalty. Was I correct?
I did. It didn't
I,
work, but I
it
only lost
didn't even
position
work.
to you.
Oh, it
No,
cost you first place, man.
I know. I had like 3 strikes, I believe. I was only one, and I was super careful with track limits because I knew I would lose the race if I got a penalty.
Exactly. Oh, you still had faith that I had a penalty, but you didn't know for sure,
Thank
right?
God I did.
All right. Well done, man. I think you really deserve it, and that pace and that consistency. Wow, I have to say, I couldn't get away. It's simple as that. So well
I
done,
don't know how.
well
I'm
done.
like always good when I have C1s. I don't know how, but I'm always super fast when I have C1s on.
I have to say, I noticed that. Yeah, the second stint.
Every time I make like a
the second
recovery
stint,
drive, I
yes.
am always super quick on C1s and I last like the whole race. I don't know how, but
Yeah, no, but I also remember that we were fighting, and then in the first stint I had softer tires and I was building a gap, and then the second stint you were at harder tires and your pace was better. So I don't know, it was Bahrain maybe, or I don't know, I
I
don't
don't
know for sure.
remember. I don't remember.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But real good to see you on the podium. Good points for Supersonic Racing Team as well.
Finally.
I don't know. You want to add something?
I don't know. I think I said everything.
Yeah. Enjoy your win. You well deserved it again. And yeah, thank you for being here, man.
Thank you all.
You can stay if you like, but I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm the number 2, but I think I talked my race a little bit also.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go eat something. I'm starving right now.
All right, fair enough. Thank you again. See you next race, buddy.
Thank you all.
Bye bye.
All right. Yeah. I am second play. I don't know what to say. I already told a little bit about my race. So
So how do you feel about your broken win streak? How do you feel about that? That your win streak was broken?
no. I don't feel bad about that at all. I'm happy for Vanotti, definitely. But the way it went, I'm angry about myself, of course, because I had 2 penalties, and then I thought now I have to be really careful. But that was already before the pit stop. So yeah, and when I got that time penalty, that I destroyed my own race. It's not. I don't cannot be angry at anybody else but me. Yeah. So but it was a nice fight. Even when the gap was almost 5 seconds, then I was hoping I could manage some little bit more pace, so I could have that 5 second. But I agree with Fanotti. I was back markers are behaving real strange, and I understand they are in a fight themselves, but yeah, when I'm within 2 car lengths, you definitely just have to move aside, simply as that. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that later, I think.
Okay, one more question for me. What was your tire strategy? Because a lot of people were pitting like 2 times. What were your tire strategy?
Yeah, I was preparing myself well. I did some long runs, and I tested. It was a long test because I started with the C3, that didn't work. Then I started with the C4, that didn't work. Then I tested C3, that didn't work. So that were already like 20 laps or something to just know that was needed to go for the C2 and then the C1. If you wanted to do a one-stop strategy, but I think if you can find the tires, then yeah, sure. They felt good in the practice, so it was not that I didn't have any grip or something. I think we were pretty much on the same settings actually, downforce settings for sure between Venotti and me.
Yeah,
So,
there were different. It was it was showing that Benotti had more down for settings, and you have a more like steering. You didn't have the so much focused on downforce, and you were
Yeah,
fast in the
really.
corners.
I didn't. I'm not sure because Venotti was real fast on the straights as well. But maybe he's using ERS there, strategically. But okay.
Okay, so
Who was number 3? I think it was Josh. Josh, right?
let me look in the leader. No, it was like Frankland. I don't know. It's Josh.
Sorry,
Josh. I guess it is Josh.
McGillivray.
No. He got a penalty, and actually, the third place is going to Frankland.
All right.
That is...
Luke, welcome, Luke Franklin. Welcome to the interview room. I think Josh had a penalty, so you are taking third place. Are you there, buddy?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, he was behind me after we made the second stop, and he had a bit of a spin, so he was already a bit behind me anyway.
So you finished third, actually.
Yes.
Oh, I'm really sorry. I
All good,
I
all
thought.
good.
All right. What livery? You wear the normal livery, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'm really sorry.
It's all right.
Congratulations, buddy. First
Thank you
race
very
for
much.
you, and immediately a podium.
Yeah. Can't ask for more than that, really. I think strategy was a bit off, but I kind of felt like I had to try something because the two in front of me were just a bit too quick. So I tried something different, didn't work, but yeah, still P3.
What exactly was that strategy then?
So I started on C2s. My original plan was to go to C1s, as that's what I'd done in practice. But then I just thought I'll go double C3 and see if I can make the time back. But as soon as I pitted, I realised that wasn't going to happen. But I'd committed at that point.
That's too bad. Yeah. Hey, listen, it's your first 50% race. Is that correct?
Yes.
How did that feel? It must have felt like an eternity, right?
It wasn't too bad, to be fair. It went quite quick because I had a few battles with Josh, and yeah, so the race went pretty quick. But yeah, it went well, better than I thought. So only one penalty as well. So yeah.
That's real nice. Very good driving then. I couldn't avoid a penalty myself, so I can.
I mean, I got
That's
one
fair.
literally turn one, lap one.
Yeah, I actually was warning for that in the briefing.
Yeah,
But it happens.
yeah, I went a bit too deep, and yeah, that was it.
All right. Well, Jan, maybe you have another question for Luke.
Yeah, what was your tire strategy, actually? because of the,
You
increased
just told
tires.
us, man.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I kind of zone out. I'm kind of sleepy, so my bad.
No problem. No problem, buddy. Maybe you want to add something yourself, Luke?
Um,
You enjoyed it. Let's start there.
yeah, I enjoyed it. Like I say, it's something different, and yeah, my first 50% race, so there was a lot to learn, and yeah, that'll bring a lot to the next few races, and yeah, hopefully the consistency and no penalties for maybe next race, and yeah, just see how it goes. But yeah, I'm glad that I managed a P3 on debut, and hopefully I can keep that up for the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're a very promising driver, to be honest. So I expect to see much more from you. And I'm really excited about that because you're joining the front runners. So yeah, and you brought another teammate, but he needs some more time to finish some other league. So, but he's already joining the Discord. So that very much grateful for
Hopefully,
that as well.
hopefully you can get in for next week. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we need to test a little bit, but I'm sure he's he's good enough. But it's just protocol, you know.
Of course.
But he told me he needed some league races on the Sunday before he could start or something.
Yes.
But we'll see. Very good. I'm gonna switch. I think I'm gonna drag Josh in because he was so close to you,
Yeah,
right?
I agree. Let's drag
All right.
Josh in. And he was in fourth position after all the penalties.
So, Luke, you're welcome to stay. It's up to you. But thank you very much for being here, and see you at the next race, mate.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, and good race from you. Congrats on the win.
Yeah, I didn't win, mate.
You didn't win? Oh no, you didn't.
No, I also
You
had a
had the
penalty,
penalty,
so I
didn't you?
had I
Yeah.
screwed up my first position, but position, but okay.
Oh well, P1 on track is fine.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. All right.
Cheers.
Hey,
thank
see you next race.
Yeah, see you next race. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh.
Josh, welcome
Hi.
to the
Hi.
interview room.
Oh yeah.
Let's
thank you.
start with a little topic. Is it all right? I call you Josh, or you want me to call you Cameron?
You go with
Or-
Cameron. That's fine.
Cameron, we're
Yeah.
gonna
I
make
did
it
that.
Cameron. All right, Cameron. Almost another podium for you.
Almost. I was
Almost.
I was catching third. And I had a little spin. Lost 4 seconds. That's on me though.
At the end of the race, you mean?
Yeah. Towards the end.
Ah.
We were
How
like
did-
for like on penalties as well, so but
how much did you have?
just 5 seconds.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
cut. Just track
Well,
cut.
I think you can be proud when you only have 5. It was
absolutely.
ridiculous, this track. Also on moments that you think, oh, there's track limits here too. I didn't even know. But
plus I had one that was, well, the thing is it's actually, it looks like it's 3 wheels outside track. I had one where I had one inside and it still was a cut. Yeah, unfortunately. Just
I
oversteer
think
moment.
yeah, it's
But,
that white line when you cross it with the inside tire. It doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2. I think
Yeah. But yeah, overall the race, I mean, I think that could have been. I was a little sloppy in some areas though. I mean, I feel like my pace was good in the long run, but I could have been a bit more careful in the wheel to wheel. I think with the although I mean there was one guy who was defending like a lion on completely dead tires, and he was kind of all over the place and dive bombing. But we had a little touch in the high speed, but no one crashed or anything. It was just yeah.
All right. Yeah, I have to say, feel free to point at the lap and corner to Malone.
Yeah. Also, I did gotta say, while qualifying, I'm sorry about that. I did back off in the end, but I was getting a little desperate because I got blocked like 3 laps in a row, and I was like, and have a good time on the board.
Yeah.
So I was like cutting corners to try and finish the outlap faster, and I backed off in the end because I don't want to do that, but you know.
Yeah, you brought it up, but I wanted to discuss this with you a little bit. Yeah, of course, because
exactly.
I saw. I was actually on my record lap there, so that was really annoying. But
Sorry about that.
Yeah, then I saw you coming. You were actually in the sand or outside of track, and you're moving. And then I think, are you really gonna join right now? I'm coming, mate. You know. And then yeah, you did in the end. So you're just when you came back on track. That was just my exit of that last corner.
Yeah,
So,
I saw you coming. I was trying to go on to the outside of stay outside of the track and just
yeah,
outside
but
the track.
real
But
scary. That's real scary,
yeah,
man.
but
You're
I
outside
understand
of
though.
track.
I understand from your perspective, seeing me moving forward, it looks like I'm going on. I'm rolling onto the track. But
Yeah, I have to look at
I'm pretty
back
sure.
at it
I'll look the
maybe,
replay. I'll look the replay. But I'm pretty sure I was like. But again, it doesn't. That doesn't really matter. It's from your perspective, right?
Well, if
yeah, absolutely.
you can, of course you can defend, but when I come there with high speed, right?
No, that's what I'm saying,
And
right?
only
Yeah.
if it only looks like you're coming back on track. I made an avoiding move because I thought you were coming, so it doesn't even matter. But it was real.
No, exactly.
It's
Exactly.
sketchy, and I have to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
You
That's
were
what I'm
backing
saying.
off your next lap by yourself, but I was going to block you there. I can tell you that much. But
Yeah, I
no,
see.
these things happen. But the only thing I
Yeah,
want
I
from
agree. I
this
agree.
is that we learn from this, and then so
Absolutely, yeah. Plus,
Yeah,
it's just
no.
it's not good of me to. I mean, because I was again, I was feeling the pressure because of having laps run, but that doesn't make justified for me to do crazy shit to risk blocking other people. You know what I'm saying, right? I was at fault for this. I was at fault. I'm sorry about that. But
Yeah, no, then it's all good.
yeah.
Just if I'm happy when you understand that you did something wrong, then I don't.
Yeah.
I appreciate your apology, and it's all good, mate. But I understand your frustration as well because I thought, oh, you wanted to go over the finish line to do another lap. That was your focus. So I thought I expected already, oh, this is gonna gonna end bad. But I understand you, man. But yeah, it's priority to be aware.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be aware of your surroundings. Yeah, that's what
Absolutely. And Interlagos, staying clear of people in quality is gonna be really important there because that track is it's difficult on the people get caught out I've done a league race there before in F1 cars, and that was a huge thing. Was on the people on outlaps getting caught by people on it's very it's a bit more blind
small.
there,
It's a small fast track. Yeah, only
Exactly, yeah.
1.78 seconds, maybe 1.
Sector 2 is going to be impeding city. So,
yeah, we'll see.
yeah.
We'll see. We just implemented the license. Maybe it's good to talk about this that here a little bit too. So it's already possible to get a point on your lesson. You really have to make space for but sometimes it's just you end up in a place where nothing where you just meet each other where you didn't want to. It happens.
Absolutely,
man.
yeah.
But it happens to everybody.
Yeah, it sure seemed like it that session.
Yeah, and the fact that we now have evolving track grip is also a reason that everybody wants to go on that last part of the qualifying session, for example. So it's gonna be real messy, but yeah, it's part of the game.
Absolutely, yeah.
I like it.
I want to ask about that strategy. You did C1s forever, like really long time. They were
C2,
on the.
I started C2.
Oh, you went C2 to C1.
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense. But you won the C1s for quite a long time. They must have been pretty dead by the end.
Yeah, I did 16 on the C2 and 18 on the C1.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
No, it was all right.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
I'm actually curious about the difference between the two stoppers because some people did make it two stopper, but I'm curious what the difference is. Yeah. Between
it was interesting. I did the two stop and it was.
Oh, you did. Okay.
And it was pretty good. I mean, I definitely like the tire life. I felt like I actually did pick the right tires in terms of the for the duration. But the C1, the one stop was definitely quicker in terms of just looking at the timing.
How many seconds did you end up behind us or Venati?
Sorry, Vinotti?
We'll look it up later. It's
Sorry, Franklin, or sorry, Vinotti won. Oh shit.
yeah, I had a
Right.
5-second penalty. So
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
was 28 seconds back.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, before the pit stop, I was like 6 seconds back. Something like that, or maybe not.
Yeah, yeah.
Close. 7.
I don't
maybe.
know what your pace exactly was compared to us when
Yeah,
we would be on the
definitely
same
just
time, but-
the benefit of the new tires did not. There just wasn't enough laps left. I mean, it just comes down to that, you know. So that pit loss and plus my little micro spin, right, for engine braking.
Also, yeah, but
Yeah.
that's gonna
Yeah.
cost a lot of time too. Yeah,
For sure. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5
Well,
seconds.
in the end, good points.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
another little topic, and then we're gonna close up because it's gonna. We are.
Oh yeah,
here
absolutely.
Online for a long
Yeah.
time, but yeah, you have a split decision between your livery and the livery of Amar Fasic. So you still can win. I think I do another poll
Yeah.
to
Well,
between only the two of you.
Actually, the power's in my hands because I voted for their livery, so I can actually just change my vote and win.
Not anymore. Not anymore. That was
I'm
pretty
joking.
That was pretty,
I'm not
sounds
doing
really
that.
bad, but
I would not do that. I would not do that. Don't worry. No,
you could have been a little bit more tactical in the end. Yeah.
No. I would not do that because actually I do like his livery the most out of everyone. So I would.
That's real fair.
I voted for it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
I didn't change
Also,
my
I'm-
vote either
yeah.
anymore.
I'm a little
after I
biased
did
because I compressed his livery for him, so actually I'm a little biased. But whatever.
it. Well done. A little victory there then.
Yeah, if you think about it, actually, I won anyway. Either way.
You're a good speaker, mate. Like all Canadians,
Thank you.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're gonna close up. Thank you for being
All
here.
very
Congratulations again with your points. Oh no, I'm not gonna ask. I'm gonna take a look later. Yeah, Jan, very much. Thank you very much for doing the stream again. And
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
yeah, we will.
Looking
we will
forward to
speak
taking
later.
a look at all my collisions.
I'm gonna look at the stream right now. I'm curious. All right, guys. See you
All right.
next time.
All right, see ya. Have a
Bye
good one.
bye.